Hello and welcome. This is KurossuElemenze, and I'm going to be doing a Dragon Quest IX Let's Play. My current Let's Play for the Terrarian experiment is on hold, pending the results of this Let's Play and updates to my computer hardware. My microphone still gives me issues, and I think I've had to try recording this about 5-6 times before I had a clear voice. A little bit more about Dragon Quest IX. It's currently the latest installment of turn-based RPGs in the Dragon Quest series, of the main storyline at least. I know that they've released a Dragon Quest Joker 2 since then. It was developed by Level 5, and as you could tell during the introduction scenes, it was produced by Square Enix and Nintendo. Unlike the other Let's Plays that I've seen for this game, I'm going to be attempting a challenge issued by KurossuElemenze, who has a game fac created for the Dragon Quest IX Solo Speedrun Challenge. He does have a link in his fac where he displays the end of his run, confirming that he played solo the entire game, and I will try to link that. In the fac, there are 4 simple rules that he requires. Don't speak to Patty and Stornway after you've set up the inn, because that will initialize her dialogue that is unique until the end of the game. Multiplayer is not allowed. This is not going to be entirely possible since I'm playing this on an emulator. Alchemy and DQ VC are not recommended. I considered doing alchemy until I looked at the equipment that I would have made with it and realized that as per Kostaki's recommendation, it's definitely more time than I can afford. The goal of this Let's Play is to get the Lightspeed Champion title, which is beating the game in less than 12 game hours. By the end of his second attempt at this challenge, he was down to about 8 hours. His first one was, I believe he said, 11.5 hours. I'd be happy to be anywhere within the Lightspeed Champion, and obviously I could talk to Patty since I'm going to be showing everything on screen, and I won't be because her dialogue takes a few minutes and I have no interest in going ahead and adding more time frivolously. As you can tell, I do not have my normal main character name because as per the recommendation of the challenge, you are recommended to be female because there is a treasure chest in the final dungeon that is a major upgrade, equipable only by female characters. As per everything else in the storyline, this is not going to be a typical RPG Let's Play where you talk to everyone and everything multiple times until you exhaust their dialogue. I am going to primarily focus on just advancing the story as fast as I can. The longest time will be spent doing level grinding. Metal slimes are going to be the way to go, but I'm going to have to fill my lower levels up with grinding on regular mobs just to ensure that everything goes according to plan. I'm sorry I've talked over most of the introduction, but as you can see, it's got a very vibrant art set, and I do run the display similar to Takari Freak, where I have both screens on display at both times, the top on the left, the bottom on the right. That's just so that when I'm going through all of my combat options and also some of the art, you get to see both screens without having to squint your eyes. The introduction is fairly basic. You start off as the equivalent of an angel whose main purpose is to watch over a city and collect benevolescence. There are quite a few types of essence in the game, most of them dealing with alchemy later. Benevolescence is really only the primary concern for the first, first 20 minutes of the game. Oh, I'd have to say more, honestly. It'd be closer to the first hour and a half to 2 hours. And then the goal of the game shifts towards an entirely different goal, which we'll get to. Like I said, I won't be doing a lot of talking to extra NPCs. I've been trying to plan out the main story arc so that I ensure to hit every NPC in as quick as time as possible. I do apologize because, as you can see now, my character likes to zig and zag a lot when running. The current gamepad that I use has a textured D-pad, and it likes to angle, so I'm working on it. It's also one of the other pieces of hardware that needs to be updated. I think I've had this since maybe before 2000, so it's showing its age. It's got a couple broken buttons. There is one key plot point that I have missed by not talking to all the NPCs so far, or they haven't mentioned it yet, or I wasn't reading while speaking. Either way, a major plot point in this game is that a Celestian angel is unable to deny or oppose a superior. So that comes into play much later in the game, and you find out about it in the observatory the first time through. I'm running through the observatory as quick as I can. There are more treasure chests that I could pick up, but they're minimally important single-use items that my character wouldn't be able to use on himself, or I guess herself, and just a small chunk of gold. Because of that, I've decided to skip them until post-game, and that will be after the defeat of the final boss, once my completion timer is locked. Right here you'll see me dive into this room that would have been locked previously. I think this is one of the few doors in the game that actually unlocks per storyline without NPC interaction. My main purpose is to gather all the seeds I can and use them on myself to help increase the likelihood of my success. Permanent stat gains are always good. Post-game, after I've gotten Stella back, which I'll be getting in a few episodes, I guess. Once I get her back and have access to the same dialogue that Kostaki had for his video, I will be going ahead and filling out my party and making my actual character, and possibly go ahead and make a couple other characters named after a few of my friends here on YouTube and real life. Right now I am just blitzing the tutorial which actually bears nothing at all on the game. You run around Angel Falls, which requires picking up a ring, giving it to a lady, and then being a pooper scooper for a lazy horse tender. You also get to talk to a ghost, which you'll see here shortly, and it's just to introduce you to the basics of your job as a Celestrian is to make people happy and keep them safe, and to usher the dead to the afterlife, effectively. No ghosts hanging around. Ghosts typically only appear at night, which is not entirely true. It seems that only interactable NPC ghosts, barring a few special ones, have that limitation, whereas the enemy ghosts obviously can appear any time of day. Otherwise, what's the point of fighting them? As I said, it takes them a while to get through the tutorial. It's almost 20 minutes just to get to the introductory cutscenes, and once that's done, I promise there will at least be more action coming up. As it stands, I think I'm right on par with all of the other videos for Dragon Quest IX. You have to start out somewhere, and it usually involves all these cutscenes, the tutorial, and waiting. The first hour of gameplay that I did covered the tutorial and the first city, and it took almost a full hour of recording to step foot in the second city. So just to give you an idea of what kind of clock I'm racing, obviously once you get further in the game, you have to progress faster and faster, and that's possible by the use of metal slimes. Being a solo run, I will be getting 4 times the experience of a full party, so that will also be to my benefit. There is the Starflight Express, a celestial train. The way the characters talk about it, though, it's as if they don't ride in it until they have completed their objective, which, if you've been able to keep up with the fast scrolling text, their objective is to give as much benevolence to the Tree of Yggdrasil to have it sprout figs, and those figs will signal the Starflight Express to come pick up the Celestrians and take them to the realm of the Almighty. Just there, I ran to the side to pick up a chest and smash some pots. That's because that item from the chest, the Chimera Wing, is important for decreasing the time spent running back to Angel Falls later. They cost 25 gold, and you try and save as much gold as you can during the speed run, only because you're not going out and farming gold like you could with, say, gold golems in a typical playthrough. There's also alchemy, which I will again be omitting as per the recommendation. It may be lucrative, but at the same time it will slow me down, running back and forth to 3 different areas. So with that picked up, I will be able to save maybe 3-4 minutes of walking on the overland map. And And I'll go ahead and be quiet now and let you enjoy this cutscene. Lovely, wasn't it? See you next time.